Every year, as the calendar flips to April 1st, the world collectively loosens its tie. Professors become pranksters, children become masterminds, and even major news outlets occasionally forget their dignity long enough to announce the discovery of flying penguins or spaghetti-growing trees. It is the one day when humanity seems to agree that being fooled is not only acceptable, but expected. Yet behind the laughter lies a surprisingly tangled scholarly mystery. Where did this day of sanctioned silliness actually come from? To answer that, we have to travel back, way back into the dusty corners of history, where manuscripts blur, calendars shift, and ancient festivals echo through time like mischievous ghosts. Some scholars begin the story in medieval England, with Geoffrey Chaucer's Nun's Priest's Tale. In one version of the text, Chaucer describes events occurring 32 days after the beginning of March, which, if you do the math, lands squarely on April 1st. This has led some to argue that Chaucer's accidentally gave us the earliest reference to April Fool's Day. But like any good prank, the truth is slippery. Modern textual analysis suggests that this April 1st interpretation may be nothing more than a scribal error, an accidental joke delivered by a medieval copyist who had no idea he'd be blamed for centuries of whoopee cushions. If that's not poetic irony, what is? Others insist the real story began in France. In 1564, King Charles IX issued the Edict of Rosaline, officially moving the start of the new year from late March or early April to January 1st, the New Year's Day we know today. Most people adapted, some did not, and those who stubbornly clung to the old New Year were mocked, teased, and sent on ridiculous errands. Over time, pranksters began attaching paper fish, or poissons d'avril, to the backs of unsuspected, symbolizing a gullible young fish easily caught. The tradition was so well established that the poet Éloge de Mirval mentioned the April fish as early as 1508, suggesting that the French were already deep into the business of springtime mischief long before the calendar reform. Leave it to the French to make even pranking sound elegant. But if you prefer your history ancient and dramatic, Rome offers another possibility. Around the end of March, Romans celebrated Hilaria, a festival dedicated to joy, disguises, and playful mockery. Participants dressed up, poked fun at public officials, and generally behaved in ways that would make a modern HR department sweat. The thematic parallels are hard to ignore. Spring arrives, the world thaws, and suddenly everyone feels the urge to laugh at authority. Some things never change. There's also the theory that April Fool's Day is simply humanity's attempt to cope with the chaos of early spring. Around the vernal equinox, weather patterns shift unpredictably, sun one moment, snow the next. Nature itself seems to be playing tricks, and humans, being humans, responded by ritualizing the absurdity. In this interpretation, April Fool's Day is less a historical event, more a seasonal mood, the Earth's annual reminder that control is an illusion. What all these theories share is a recognition that humor is not trivial. It is a cultural glue. It is a pressure valve. It is a way societies navigate change, uncertainty, and the awkwardness of being human. Studying April Fool's Day teaches us about the calendar reforms that reshaped global timekeeping, about folklore that binds communities together, and about the universal human impulse to laugh in the face of confusion. Even today, in the digital age, April 1st forces us to sharpen our media literacy, because misinformation spreads faster than ever, and not just on purpose. So perhaps the true origin of April Fool's Day is not a single moment, but a mosaic, a medieval misreading, a French calendar shift, a Roman festival, a capricious spring sky. Each piece adds texture to a tradition that has survived because it speaks to something timeless. Life is unpredictable. People are fallible, and sometimes the best way to honor the truth is to laugh, especially at ourselves. And maybe that's the real wisdom of April 1st. For one day each year, we could collectively acknowledge that being fooled is part of being human. We embrace the absurd, we loosen our grip on certainty, and in doing so, we participate in a ritual older and wiser than it appears. After all, If history teaches us anything, it's that the joke has always been on us.